Hello everyone, welcome back to Plan B TV News. Tinubu might be disqualified to become the president of Nigeria, or May 29 inauguration might not hold, as new case arose in addition to what he has been facing in the Supreme Court. Dual citizenship issues against Tinubu, a distraction university done. There has been an intensive debate on social media platforms over Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria president-elect, alleged citizenship of the Republic of Guinea in the West Africa. It was triggered after a snapshot of biodata page of Guinea passports bearing Mr. Tinubu pictures and information surfaced on the internet. The discourse around his stresses Mr. Tinubu alleged ineligibilities to contest for or hold the office of Nigeria presidency owing to his alleged Guinean citizenship. It is also spotlight that the fact that he failed to disclose his alleged dual citizenship to the Independent National Electoral Commission's INEC, Mr. Tinubu and his campaign council have yet to comment to either confirm or deny the allegation. However, Mr. OK waiting in all the issues said Nigeria constitutions allow dual citizenship. Reference to section 28 of Nigeria constitution, the legal luminary said dual citizenship is allowable where one qualified as a Nigerian by birth. It is my consideration's opinion that Nigeria by birth can retain and maintain dual citizenship for the purpose of seeking any elective office in Nigeria till date and the academy, he added. On the other hand, Babatunde Fashola debunked Tinubu Guinea passports. The Ministers of Work and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, has been trending on social media after stating during a live television interview over the weekend that the allegations against Nigeria President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu are unproven. When asked about the recent claim that Tinubu allegedly obtained citizenship of Guinea, the minister denied any knowledge of Tinubu's dual citizenship and said that the part of the 1999 constitutions that he recognized is that Nigeria are allowed to have dual citizenship. Details in the video.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, has been trending on social media after stating during a live television interview over the weekend that the allegations against Nigeria's president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu are unproven. The minister, when asked why there were so many controversies surrounding the president-elect, especially as it relates to his educational background, exact age, family ties, his source of wealth, and the forfeiture of $460,000 to the U.S. government over alleged involvement in illicit drug trafficking, said the controversies might be an indication of a positive turnaround for the country, adding that there is no sainthood in governance and that the focus should be on performance and efficacy. When asked about the recent claims that Tinubu allegedly obtained citizenship of Guinea, an action that violates Section 137 of the 1999 Constitution, which states that a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a country other than Nigeria. The minister denied any knowledge of Tinubu's dual citizenship and said that the part of the constitution that he recognizes is that Nigerians are allowed to have dual citizenship. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Erio Lua. One clever tactic used by smart lawyers is to avoid the questions and use an example to make the question seem irrelevant. He answered the questions by not answering it in a way that could jeopardize his interest. Mr. K, I'm coming to you. I mean, this story has been trending since Sunday. I don't know if you had the privilege to watch the interview. Yeah. I mean, I think that the Twitter user was quite correct because you could see Minister Fashola evading most of the questions. But, you know, the main topic which has been trending, I mean, which trended over the weekend was the passport, the Guinean passport of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We took the story yesterday, but we didn't have much time to discuss that. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I'm sure Ruben will, as a lawyer with so many years of experience and more knowledge of the legal side of it, but looking at it just from a journalist's perspective, I will say that the first thing that is clear is this is what the Constitution say in terms of if you're going to be a president of Nigeria, there are certain things you can't do. This is one of them. And then the second point that has been raised from what I've read online is that this was not declared in the form that was presented to INEC. And if you take an oath and you sign that you swear that everything in that document, this is the truth, and you fail to indicate that you have another citizenship in that form, then you would have lied under oath. If that is true, then the law. Please let me be very clear. If that is true, because I don't know what the truth is at the moment. If that is true, then that will be something that has to be looked at by a court of law that will judge it very properly.
All right, Dr. Bati.
Well, very briefly, I mean, I think the point has been made. The Nigerian Constitution recognizes dual nationality. And that's precisely what Minister Fashola was saying with regard to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Although some people have been quoting Section 317 sub 1, saying that, oh, if you have the nationality of another country, but what people must be reminded of is that you don't read one section of the Constitution in isolation. You read the Constitution conjunctively. Because if you go to Chapter 3, of the same Constitution dealing with citizenship, it makes it very clear that, look, if either of your parents were born in Nigeria or you were born in Nigeria, then you are a Nigerian citizen. So I don't think that in the eyes of a reasonable person, anybody will say, oh, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not a Nigerian within the purview of the law. And there is no evidence that he has renounced his citizenship. So there's no evidence of renunciation. However, the key issue here is that perjury. What did he put in his form? EC 89. I've seen some documents online, but are those documents valid?
Right.
The people who are making the allegations, can they prove it in court? And that was why I said yesterday that, you know, whoever is aggrieved should go to court, which is the Nigerian mantra, instead of, you know, propaganda or emotionalism that we have seen around the subject. But one major point that Minister Fashola made that I think is important is that he said there are no saints in politics. Whether it's in where it was with specific reference to Nigeria, where you won't find saints anyway. Also in England, where the Prime Minister is now the subject of an investigation by the Ethics Committee. Nor will you find it in the United States. So no saints in politics. I think that's something we can reflect upon.
Right.
You know, but of course, naturally, you will expect, you know, Minister Fashola to support his principal.
In 2007, when our party, then the ACN, was rigged out of elections in Osun, in Ekiti, in Ondo, and in Edo State, I was asked, he invited me to his residence, as Asiwaju invited me to his residence at Bodilon. And he said to me, the only way by which we can possibly reclaim the states that have been taken away from us by this regime is going through the courts. And he said to me that the only way is by proving that there was multiple voting. In other words, proving that a few people simply thumbprinted ballot papers, dumped the ballot papers into ballot boxes, and they were counted in favor of the opposition, then of course the PDP. He then said to me that the only way we can do this is by somehow, he says, I don't know how you are going to do it, but somehow proving by forensic evidence that this is exactly what happened. I said to him, I said, Asiwaju, look, nobody has ever proved an electoral case, an electoral petition by forensic evidence. There's just no history of it. He said, and I said, what is even more? We have over a million ballot papers. If we consider all of the ballot papers in each of these states, there are over a million. In fact, at the time, there were about 1.3 million ballot papers, putting together all the states. And how can we prove multiple voting? He said, I've told you what my own view is. You just go and look for a way of sorting this out. So I went to the UK and met with possibly the most experienced fingerprint expert in the entire United Kingdom, a gentleman called Adrian Forty, introduced to me by some of the QCs who I'd worked with in the UK. And when I told Adrian Forty the enormity of the problem, he laughed and almost fell off his chair. He said, in all my own almost 50 years of experience as a fingerprint expert, I have not even done up to 4,000 fingerprints. You are now saying that I should come and do 1.3 million fingerprints. Come on, I mean, that's almost impossible. Anyway, so we parted that day, that was a Thursday. And then he called me back on a Monday and said, let's talk again about this crazy thing that you are suggesting. And we sat and talked about it. And somehow we designed a way. He said, of course, we used a bit of technology. But most importantly, we were able to get fingerprint experts. He said to me, the only way is to get the number of fingerprint experts that have never been assembled before. I said, about how many? He said, a minimum of 50 fingerprint experts. In the end, we hired 63 fingerprint experts, 63. 50 of them were from the UK police. What was even more interesting about that was that even to get the UK police to support us, Ashwaju had to come all the way from Nigeria to come and talk to friends and people who he knew to try and persuade the authorities to let us use the UK police. In the end, they allowed us to, of course, in the spare time of those policemen. And we got an additional 10 policemen. Altogether, 63 policemen working flat out for almost 6 months. We were able to put together for the first time, definitely in the history of electoral petitions anywhere in the world, we were able to put together a solid forensic case that showed that all of the places where we were defeated, it was on account of multiple thumb printing. And we also demonstrated that it was impossible for those who said they voted. For instance, we showed that if you cast 20,000 votes in a particular unit, when we calculated the time that it takes to cast one single vote, it's usually above 5 minutes. But we discovered that our friends in that other political party were able to cast their votes in 5 seconds. Because all they were doing was simply thumb printing. They just simply take out a booklet and thumb print as many as possible. So we were able to demonstrate all of that in court. Cut a long story short, one by one, we were able to get back the states that had been taken away from us. The only way by which that could ever have been achieved is surely not just by the vision, but by the determination of the leader, of our leader at that time. It was of.
Alright guys, this is what I'm going to be heading the video today. Do you enjoy this particular video? If you do, please do not skip without you commenting your thoughts in the comment sections and give these videos a thumbs up. This is the only way you can support the growth of this channel. For all our returning subscribers who year to year or time to time always come to support the growth of our content, thank you very much. May God continue to bless you. Compliment of the season to all our viewers out there. We thank you very much for all your big support that you have given to this platform for making Plan B TV to work out. Thank you. Until we meet again, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first person to be notified anytime we upload a new content. If you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe and be among the Plan B TV team. Thank you very much. Until we meet again. Peace out.
Don't forget to subscribe to get notified. And as you they share your support, now say God bless you too.
Sense on the bed.
Plan B TV. Plan B TV. Plan B TV. Oh. Plan B TV. Plan B TV. Plan B TV.